So let's take a look at the best cashback credit cards out there right now. I'm really not a big fan of the rolling different categories every quarter that you have to go and sign up for, otherwise you don't qualify for. So I went with cards that are just straight cashback at all times. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the first two, and those are gonna be if you're like, hey, I just wanna carry one credit card, but I want the most cashback possible. We're gonna look at those ones. And then after that, I brought up a couple more that if you're like, hey, I wanna carry one of these first two and then maybe one other one to maximize my rewards on, let's say, groceries or gas or something like that, then you have that option. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these up. And I ended up grabbing screenshots because the websites are being a little bit weird when I was trying to screen record them. That's why I actually still have OBS up here to make sure that it's actually recording, because it was being a little weird. So let's look at this card first. This is the Wells Fargo Active Cash Card. It's gonna bring you 2% cash back on everything. So here we have an intro bonus of $200 when you spend $1,000, 0% APR for 15 months, including balance transfers, $0 annual fee. Obviously, that's a must for any credit card. There's no reason to ever pay for a credit card unless you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on a credit card. And then here is what we are after: the unlimited 2% cash back on purchases. So this is going to be your kind of everyday card. I'm going to use it at Walmart, Target, Rite Aid, Wegmans, I don't know, wherever you use, or maybe not Wegmans. If you're going to get a card specifically for groceries, then you probably use that there, but you know what I'm saying? Just, it's going to be your everyday spend card. You're going to use it at the mechanics, yada, yada, yada. And then next on that list of like, I'm going to have one of two cards, or I'm just only going to carry one credit card in my wallet, I would say the Citi Double Cash Card is another solid option. It's been the 2% cash back kind of benchmark for a very long time. As you can see, there is, go back, draw. That's what we want. So 2% cash back on every purchase. So what that means when they say 1% when you buy and then 1% additional, it's basically, it gives you 1% and then you have to pay your bill and then they give you another 1%. So it's 2%, which is okay. The worst part about this is that there's no intro bonus. You can see right here, intro offer, not applicable. So if you don't already have this card, it makes sense to just buy the Wells Fargo, or excuse me, not to sign up for the Wells Fargo Active Cash Card, because you get that $200 intro bonus. So it's like on that first $1,000 worth of purchases, you're only paying 80% for all of those. So we will be switching just because we do have the Citi Double Cash, but why not sign up for it because of the intro bonus and just getting basically 20% back on that $1,000, which is $1,000 we would have spent anyway. And then here we have pretty standard 0% APR on balance transfers. Balance transfers do not earn cash back, which I think is reasonable. And that's essentially it with these two cards. You do have to have good or excellent credit, above a 690 to get either of these cards. So this is gonna go ahead and be I'm gonna get one of the two cards. So now let's jump into, hey, I'm gonna have this card in my wallet for like a main spend, and then I really don't mind carrying one extra card or two extra cards for groceries, just to save a little bit more. So next we're gonna pull up the Chase Freedom Unlimited. I do have this card. I'll take me out of the way for a second. So it's the $200 bonus plus 5% cash back on groceries. So we use this specifically for groceries. Here we have the $200 off the first $500 in purchases. Now this is $500 that you would spend anyway. So what we actually do is my wife pretty much exclusively uses this card because it is 5% back on groceries, like we said, and then 1.5% purchases and everything else. They say 3% on drugstore and then 3% on dining and takeout. We don't really do a lot of takeout and we don't have a lot of drugstore purchases, so that doesn't really apply to us. But my wife almost exclusively carries this card because most of her spend is at the grocery store. And still getting that extra 1.5% on everything else is still better, but she doesn't want to carry two cards. So that's just how it worked out for us. So we signed up for this, got the $200 back on the first $500 you spent. Just signing up for it and getting the $200 back on the first $500, like for the intro bonuses, is worth signing up for these cards. They make it totally worth it. So 5% back on groceries. So now if you're saying, hey, that's really cool, I'd like to have maybe a little bit more options than just groceries, there is the Citi Custom Cash. And this is what the card looks like. I'm actually gonna pull up a screenshot of it. Where is it? Oh, here it is. So this is just the categories. So it was letting me see here. Sorry, this is one of the ones where it was being a little weird when I was trying to record. So 5% back on the highest eligible spend category, each billing cycle up to $500 spent, 1% cash back thereafter. So this is really, really good because it gives you a bunch of different categories if you're gonna spend $500 or less. But keep in mind, when you sign up for this one, you do get an intro bonus of $200 back on the first $750 that you spend, which again is huge. 0% APR for the first 15 months, including balance transfers. So that's good. Already liking this. It comes with an intro bonus and you're already getting 5% back on specific categories. And these aren't categories that you have to go and sign up for, and they don't rotate every month. I hate when they rotate or rotate every quarter. It drives me crazy. So these are the categories for the custom cash. I had to pull up a screenshot here. So we have grocery stores. That is huge. Okay, so 5% back on grocery stores, but the Chase Freedom Unlimited does this, but there's not that $500 cap on it. So this is where this really shines. Okay, 5% on restaurants. That's pretty solid. 5% on gas stations. That's also really solid. I think the Costco membership gas cards, I think 4%, but then again, you have to have a Costco membership. So if you don't have that, then that doesn't apply to you. So 5% back on gas stations, streaming services, and fitness clubs. I'm just putting these two together because this is great because you can put them as like your auto pay or just services that you're gonna buy anyway, because this is just about $100 worth of, between like an LA Fitness and Netflix and Hulu, you're gonna be right about there. So that's just $100 that now you're only paying $95 for that. It's great. Drugstores, again, we don't have a lot of drugstore purchases, so I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think you get more back than this if you open the Walgreens card, but I'm not 100% positive, don't quote me on that. And then this is a big one for me, is the home improvement stores, which means Home Depot. And if you know anything about Home Depot credit cards, they are not good. I will pull up the Lowe's credit card after this just to show you this. So if you do a lot of shopping at Lowe's, this is not gonna be the card for you because you can get better than 5% back. But then again, this is if you're gonna carry a second or maybe third card. And then again, you got Select Travel, Select Transit, and it doesn't elaborate on these, so I don't have any more information. And then Live Entertainment. And then again, it just doesn't elaborate on that. So I don't know what that means. So unfortunately, we won't be able to talk about that in this video. So this card, I think, really shines when it comes to gas stations and home improvement stores. Those are really going to be, and the prepaid services, the streaming services, and the fitness clubs. I think that those are going to be like the really big things for this category. When it comes to groceries, I would be concerned about spending over the $500 limit of getting my 5% back, cash back for the groceries specifically. But if you're thinking I'm going to get this card and just mainly use it for my gas and my prepaid streaming services, and then maybe the occasional Home Depot run, then this is perfect. The only limiter to this one I see is the original $750 spend to get the intro bonus and the limit on the spend for the groceries. Because let's be honest, if we're buying groceries and bothering to get a credit card for it, we're probably spending at least $300, $400, $500 on groceries every month. Unless you're going out to eat and you're only spending like $100 on groceries, and you're spending, $300 going out to eat or something, then this definitely works for restaurants there. So definitely recommend that. And then next on the list we have, come on, refresh. All right, cool, we're actually recording. We're recording this time. Is the Lowe's American Express Business. It has to actually be this card. There's a bunch of options on their website. When you go ahead and sign up, it has to be the Lowe's American Express Business Card. So you get 5% off at Lowe's off your purchase. And then you get additionally 2 points, which equates to 2% back on your statement. Now the biggest downside to this card, so I do have this card. When I go to Lowe's, I exclusively use this. When I go to Home Depot, I just use my Citi Double Cash. So when you're in this one, and I don't know if it says this, I don't know if I was reading this, but I know for a fact, because this happens to me, that every time you go to redeem a credit, you can't just get like a statement credit. It has to come in the form of a Lowe's gift card, which is really annoying to me because I'd rather just have a statement credit because I do a majority of my shopping at Home Depot. So I'd rather just have the statement credit back on my Amex, but that's just a personal thing. This might be great for you. You might not have a Home Depot in your location. You might just be, exclusively have a Lowe's, so it doesn't even matter. You're not even like price comparing, and I mean, you know, you don't have the option to have a preference. I prefer Home Depot. It's just a personal preference. So that's one thing that annoys me about this card is that I have to wait for them to send me a gift card, and then I've got to take that in. But then when I pay with the gift card, I don't get my 5% back because I'm not paying with my Lowe's American Express business card. And then last but not least, well, last and least technically, just thought another cool option is the world's first Bitcoin rewards credit card from BlockFi. And I'm gonna go ahead and pull up these screenshots that I screenshotted just in case it cuts me out from recording again, because this was another site that was giving me trouble. It was something that's really, really cool is the card is metal, and I think that that's awesome. So what this card does is instead of giving you like a cashback on your statement credit or depositing directly in your bank account, it is a well, let me pull this up. I'm pretty sure it's a 1.5%. Yeah, 1.5% rate on Bitcoin rewards. So what it does is every single month it converts the rewards that you would have gotten in USD and have the option to like save or get as a statement credit, and it just pays you out 1.5% of that into Bitcoin. So this is really cool if you're into Bitcoin. Also, if you're looking for a metal card, it's metal. There's not that many metal cards out there that are free other than the Apple card. And so I think that this is really cool and a really innovative option. If you Google this online, it says it's not available, but I got an email about 5-6 weeks ago from my BlockFi account because it is funded, saying that I have the option to apply for the credit card. So it is available, and they are coming out with them. You just have to have the account and have it funded. And if you're not into crypto, then this is not going to be for you. And essentially that's all there is. It's just 1.5% back, and they pay you in Bitcoin. So if you're not into Bitcoin and you're not into crypto, then this card's definitely not for you. So again, just to recap, we've got the two top ones. We've got the Wells Fargo Active Cash and the Citi Double Cash. If you're just going to carry one card, if you're going to carry one card and maybe a grocery card, then you go with the Chase Freedom Unlimited. But if you don't spend a ton on groceries and you want some other things like some gas rewards and prepaid services and gym membership and things like that, then the Citi Custom Cash is definitely a solid another option there. Ideally, I would say in this scenario, you carry 3 cards. You use your Wells Fargo Active Cash for your everyday purchases, the Chase Freedom Unlimited for strictly groceries, and then the Citi Custom Cash for gas, home improvement stores, and your prepaid services, drug stores, and things like that. So with the Lowe's Business Amex card, it's a little niche specific. It does end up saving you a lot of money. That 5% back on Lowe's definitely helps. But if you don't spend a ton of money at Lowe's, it doesn't have great benefits if you're not spending your money at Lowe's. And to just touch on the BlockFi Bitcoin card, if you're not into cryptocurrency and you want more than that 1.5%, then that's definitely not the card for you. But I may get it and consider using it just because I'm into cryptocurrency. And the fact that it's a metal card is really cool. So if you found something interesting, or if you learned something, it'd be really cool if you'd hit that like button. It'd help me to know, hey, I learned something in this video, because I know that just researching this video, I learned a couple of things and found a couple cards that I'm gonna end up signing up for, which I think is really, really cool. But anyways, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next video.